had a conversation, it quiets down, and he shakes his head and he goes, "Brother, are you okay? What's up?" And he goes, "I never purposely hung out with Hulk or searched them out. I said hello to him. I never hid from, well, I did hide from people later on in the afternoon for my afternoon outdoor Kempo X workout from P90X. I would do that. I would work out before my match because I was so like worried about the looking like that picture you showed me from the right to censor. So I stayed as lean as I could. The only time, and it's just such a weird thing, I'm sitting there, and people that don't watch wrestling, it's just kind of like, just this weird kind of thing with three guys you would never sit together at a table, but you do. Myself, Abyss, and then Hogan. So Abyss was sitting next to me on my right side. Hogan sat down across from us. There's these picnic tables in Universal Studios. Outside of the studio, it's like a big breezeway where you could literally drive multiple tractor trailers through it. Then off to the right, you had offices. To the left, you had like bleachers and stuff. And you could even go straight through that breezeway and get the back door into Disney, like Spider-Man ride and everything I would do. But catering would be full, and then the picnic tables would be like the overflow. So I grabbed some food. Abyss was sitting there. We were still kind of doing stuff together, and I was talking to him about something we were going to do that night. And then Hogan came up, and I think this was the EV2 days. So I was back on TV doing stuff, and Abyss was kind of involved with that. I think that was the day or the night we jumped them out of nowhere on TV, and they broke it up and everything. And obviously Dixie was the center of attention. It said, I invited them, and Jeff's like, "What?" So back to the Hogan story, I'm sitting here, Abyss is next to me. You're already laughing because you know the punchline. Hogan's sitting there and we're eating. And I was just like, "Hey, Hulk, how are you feeling? How's your back?" Because he was getting like all that laser surgery and the electrodes in the back and everything. I mean, he was really, really in rough shape, but he looked great. That's what I couldn't understand. But I'm sitting there, we're eating, had a conversation, it quiets down, and he shakes his head and he goes, "Brother, brother." And I was like, are you okay? What's up?" And he goes, "I need at least $2 million a year to live." To which I literally, it felt like I probably had an out-of-body experience because I thought I fell to the ground. But I didn't. I just literally kind of woozed like I had vertigo or something. And I shook my head and I looked at Abyss and he was like, trying not to laugh. And I said, I'm sorry. What was that again? What did you say? He goes, because he was going through the stuff with his ex and everything. And I go, "What was that again?" He goes, "Brother, I need $2 million a year just to live." And he had these sad eyes. And I was like, "Dude, you give me $2 million, you'll never see me again, ever." So make sure you donate below. If you want to get rid of us. But it was just like, wow. And I go, "I'm okay." This fun fact. But it was just like, and wrestlers, here's what wrestlers do. Even my best friends with Donovan Morgan and like Danny Doring and other people. And I'm just like, I gotta pick you couldn't grab the phone quick enough when you walked away, I gotta tell somebody. Nobody's gonna believe this. So
this was just totally unsolicited then. You were talking about what, lunch and whatever, and then, brother.
I was asking him how he feels, and I try to talk about anything but wrestling. Obviously, Biss and I are doing something, but I ask about workouts and, hey, I really want to go to that. One of the sheep herders, one of the bushwhackers had that gym at Clearwater Beach, really nice gym. Man, I'd like to go there. Maybe we can work out. My whole thing, and it's more recent too, after I got sick, Nash was nice enough to send me a message when I was just starting to recover. And my whole thing is not like, hey, I want to sit there and talk or whatever, but this is the Mark part of me because I'm a fitness fanatic. If I can work out with Hulk Hogan, to me, that's a bucket list item. If I could work out with Kevin Nash, that's super cool. Even guys just saying whatever, for whatever personal things or whatever, if I can work out with somebody like Triple H and learn some of those bodybuilding methods and other things, or just the way he does things in the gym, that stuff excites me to do that. So that's really all. I was politicking to just get a workout with them, but I got the 1099s and everything thrown on the picnic table. I got like his profit loss statement and everything.
Bless him, he wasn't in a good place at the time, so I understand. When I interviewed Eric Bischoff, actually, he was the same. He was like, dude, he was... I'll give you the brief synopsis. He was so full of opioids and barbiturates and all these painkillers and stuff like that just to get through the day. He was in a terrible place, especially with the divorce and everything.
I hate to hear that. Someone must have gave him some sodium pentothal before that because he was telling a bunch of truths. He was not, you know... And with his current state and his lifestyle and where he lived and home and he had an incredible amount of overhead. So when he says that, he's probably like, it's true for what you have to do to maintain the things you own and everything. But as somebody who tries to live well beneath their means, it's a bit of a culture shock, hearing that. I'll say this on a personal level, and people could say whatever. He's a politicker. He's charming. He's got great charisma. You saw the Republican National Convention where he was featured. He's really charismatic and he can get a crowd excited. But he's always been, when it didn't come to wrestling, Hogan was, that's why I always try to talk about working out, because that's the stuff where, with the boys at least, they're like, oh, I can kind of talk like a normal person. I don't have this big wall in front of me. I don't have to measure you up and down. We're just a couple dudes talking about working out.
Was Hogan, and this might go into... No, I don't really think it goes into EV2 stuff, but was Hogan just a big fan of Abyss? Because obviously he's figured in with, the Hall of Fame ring and stuff like that somehow gave him superpowers. But I suspect is that why Hogan came and sat down with you in the first place, just because Abyss was there and he was working with it at the time or around that time?
Oh, he sure as hell didn't sit down to talk to me. I mean, I'm aware enough to know that. Or there was no seats anywhere, and that's usually my... back in high school, pick last to play kickball type personality. But yeah, I would have guessed he sat down with Abyss to do that. Hogan's always, look at the WCW run, look at the WWF run. Hogan loves big monsters because there's that part of him that's looking at Abyss saying, we can draw money and you can put me over. He can slay that dragon. And Abyss is somebody, I know he's doing well now, being like one of the head agents. If not, I heard he's like the person who oversees all the producers, which is incredible. But that's a talent there that literally should have been one of the biggest programs for somebody like The Undertaker. Like he should have been in a WrestleMania trying to break the streak and trying to become the new Undertaker. That's how big of a star Abyss should have been. And he's got a great mind for the business. If he didn't have even a decent good mind, he wouldn't be in that spot in WWE.